Hey everyone, it's Autumn. Today I thought I would do a getting ready with me video using some newer products. So you're going to get some first impressions, or I'm going to get first impressions, but you're going to see my first impression on these products. So I don't really have anything laid out here. I'm just going to kind of get ready and go along because I feel like since I haven't used these products, I'm not going to really know what to pair them with. I'm not going to know until I actually get them on the skin to see what the finish is and how they, are working out and stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and start out with this Perricone MD No Foundation Serum. I got this from Sephora when I put in a code for after a $25 order, and they give you 0.3 fluid ounces, and this is actually a very generous sample of this, especially since it was something that I wanted to buy, but since it was like $55, I mean, getting a sample is great. So if I end up loving this, I probably will get the full size. This is in the shade number 2, light to medium, which from what I understand, isn't there only one shade? So I'm curious as to why it's number 2, light to medium. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me ask Dr. Internet. Okay, so I looked and there are actually 2 shades. There are fair to light and light to medium. So I'm thinking that I would probably be the fair to light, because this does seem a little bit dark, but we're going to go ahead and go for it. If all else fails, I have tons of self-tanner that I'm too lazy to use, and I need to self-tan to use some of these things up. So that's like the next thing. So I'm going to go ahead and just put some on the back of my hand for now, and then I'm just going to kind of apply it like this to kind of see how it goes. I should have tested this out last week when my skin was awesome, but I went to Army, and every time after I go to Army, there's like something that gets in my food that I eat that breaks me out, or I do something that like breaks me out. And this time we went to weapons qual, and I had to wear the protective face gear while firing my rifle just to make sure that I didn't get anything in my eyes. And it all set on my face as I was sweating, and I've just got breakouts up here from that, and I never break out up here. So that's from the face gear, and then I have neck breakouts from foods that that apparently I shouldn't be eating. So it's still not bad though. I have like 1 little pimple here and then like 2 here, so it's not terrible, but still, I was so proud of my skin last week. Well, the last couple weeks anyway. Put that up here. Like, it feels really nice on the skin, but I don't think it offers a lot of coverage, which is fine. I can use concealer for that. Yeah, and I'm going to have to blend all this down my neck. So I want to see if I can build it up over the areas where I do have blemishes and see if it does that. And we'll see. Yeah, I've got it down here. It's not the right color. Oh, Lord. I have my parent-teacher orientation tonight. We already had the student orientation for Ansley for kindergarten last week, so tonight we have the parent-teacher. So I'll probably end up doing my makeup again today anyway. This is just kind of to test products out, and I might do a video or something in a moment, but I have a lot of yard work and stuff to do. So what time is it? It's like 8 a.m. So this isn't going to last very long. It's not going to last until 6 o'clock tonight, after doing all the yard work and stuff, since I'm going to have to shower and stuff anyway. So overall, this stuff feels nice. Should have put it on bare skin without any moisturizer or anything. I did just put on my Clinique moisturizer, which, is a pretty rich moisturizer. So, but I think overall it blends well, and even though it's not the same color as like my skin on my face and my neck and chest, because I usually cover those areas, it actually matches like my arms and stuff quite well right now. So if I were to wear a shirt that came up to here, you wouldn't notice that the foundation isn't really the right color for me. So there we go. And you can see on my hands though that it does kind of seems to oxidize just a little bit. So I think I'm definitely, when I order this, if I do order this, I'm definitely going to be getting the light shade. As far as the consistency goes, like this seems like more moisturizing and nourishing. This kind of had a really weird greasy feel to it, and I think I might be passing this along because I used it and I did the review and stuff, and then I haven't really touched it since. So I'm going to have to maybe pull this back out and see if it's something I want to keep. But they're not very similar, in case you were wondering. Other than the fact that they have a dropper, that's pretty much the only thing that makes them similar is the consistency and the dropper, because once you get it on the skin, the Perricone feels like skincare and the Physicians Formula felt like oil. Okay. And the Physicians Formula one stinks and the Perricone one does not. So in case that's also a factor for you. So while we're trying out new things, I decided that I'm going to go ahead and try this out. And it's a packet of Amazing Concealer, and this is by Amazing Cosmetics. And they gave me the shade Medium Beige. So I think that that might actually be a good fit for the color of this. So we'll do a first impression on this. And let's see. Dot, blend, and repeat is needed to erase the appearance of dark circles, blemishes, broken capillaries, redness, and of uneven skin tone and more. So perfect. Although I will tell you, the very first ingredient in this is mineral oil. So if that's something you're trying to avoid, don't use this. We'll see if it breaks me out. So yeah, this does seem a little bit dark, but we'll put it on my spots. Yeah, it seems dark, but it actually works well with this. So I'm actually going to get a brush and put it in this packet. I have the Sonia Kashuk. This is the number 122. This is an eyeliner brush, but I like to use this for pinpoint concealing. So I'm just going to conceal there and there. I have a little bit of redness here from a blemish that was there, and I got a blemish there. I'm also going to go around my nose to cover any redness that the foundation itself didn't cover. Okay, so I have those areas done for now, and I'm just going to kind of take my finger and blot them in to see how well it covers. And so with this foundation, this is a perfect match. So if this foundation is actually your color in this would be the Medium Beige and the Amazing Concealer, because this actually works perfect with it. So I think this did a good job on the face. I'm actually going to go in and do some of my eyes now. I kind of do a little bit of my eyes before I do my eyeshadow, and then I do like the full under part after, but this part I always do before the eyeshadow. So we'll kind of dot some of that in there and see how it works on that dark area that's right there in the corner. And again, just taking my finger, I'm going to just dab it. Okay, so for the most part, I actually like this concealer. My only concern is the ingredients with the mineral oil, so we're going to see how it wears throughout the day, but I'm also going to see in the next couple days if it breaks me out. So that's something that I'm going to pay attention to. So now I'm going to go ahead and do my eyeshadows, and I picked these up at the drugstore. I'll kind of show you. These are the Milani, the newer eyeshadows, and somebody had requested that I do a look with these. I've gotten to wear some of the shades, like 1 or 2 times maybe, but I haven't been wearing them a whole lot. So I'm going to kind of look here and put together a quick look using these. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and apply some eyeshadow primer here, and this is the Lorac Behind the Scenes. And I'm just going to get some of that on my finger and then dab it onto my eyes. Okay, so I'm going to go for something a little more daring for me. Probably especially because if this doesn't work out, I can just wash it off. But this is the Milani and Bella Charcoal. I didn't actually haul this one because I bought it this weekend while I was at Army. I saw it and I'm like, you know what? I want to go ahead and try that out because I thought it would be a really simple, easy smoky eye. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to take the Soho London brush and get some of this and just apply it to the lid, and we'll see how it applies. So I'm noticing that it's like a little harder to blend right now, but I think it could also be because of the eyeshadow primer that I put on. I noticed that Lorac eyeshadow primer like really grabs things, so it might be a little bit extra work for me to blend these, but I think overall it's doing a pretty good job. I'll have to play around with them some more using other eyeshadow primers or no eyeshadow primer to kind of make sure that it is this particular primer that's causing them to not blend that well right now. And it's not all of them, it's just this one actually. So we'll see. Okay, so I know it looks crazy, but I'm going to take a blending brush now, and I am going to blend that up and out. That's why I didn't apply it too far up, because I don't want it to go too crazy. So I'm just going to take that around the edges and blend. Hopefully it does blend. Brush is being a little bit too soft. I'm going to need something that's going to, not really soft, but I need something a little thicker to kind of really get in there and blend the edges. So here you have the blended out result of just that one eyeshadow, and I actually like this, although if I were using this for a nightshade, I might bring it up a little bit more and smoke it like up to here maybe, just slightly, but I don't know, I kind of like this eyeshadow shade. But I'm going to go ahead and pick up another one. This is in Bella Cafe, and I'm going to kind of run this along in the crease to kind of help transition. And this is kind of like a yellow toned transition shade, not like really pinky. So I'm going to go ahead and get in there and move it up a little bit. I'm going to use the transition shade that I used to go under the lash line instead of the gray charcoal shade, just because it's daytime. If I were doing a nighttime look right now, I would certainly be using the charcoal shade under the bottom. So I don't really feel like the look needs it, but just for funsies, I'm going to add a little bit of Bella Sand on the lid over top of the charcoal shade to kind of see if it brings just a little bit of lightness and shimmer to the look. Alright, so this is the Makeup Forever Aqua Eyes that we got in our birthday gifts. I'm just going to kind of run this along, kind of like tight line a little bit, and run it along there just to kind of thicken it up, because I don't think I want a lot of black liner on the top, but I still want kind of that definition in my lashes to look thicker. If this is something you don't like watching, or if you get grossed out when people like mess with their eyeballs, I'm sorry, you can just kind of skip forward. So I just kind of lift here and just work it into the lash line. It's just done a little bit. I did this eye, so you can probably see the difference between this eye to this eye as far as just the thickening of the lash line. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I got that on. I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes. I'm all done curling the lashes. I'm not going to do the mascara until maybe towards the end or whatever, but I am going to go in now and do my brows. So I'm just going to kind of comb those out and put them where I want them. I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, and I got the shade Soft Brown that I thought would be best for my brows. I may go back though and get the medium brown shade as well, because I think that I'm somewhere between the soft brown and medium brown, but I wanted to be, you know, I would rather go on the lighter side than the darker side, but once this gets on it looks fine. I've used this a few times. I've had it for about a week now or so, maybe not even a week. I've had it for a little bit though, and I've been using it and I've been really liking it. So I'm just going to jump in and kind of just fill in the sparse areas where I do have hair, just kind of making the brows look fuller. And I'm using this Sonia Kashuk, I think this is supposed to be an eyeliner brush in one of their kits, and it's too rough to put on your eyes, but this is perfect for eyebrows because since it is kind of rough, it kind of gets down in there and like places the product, you know, between the hairs and all that stuff, but it so it doesn't look like their stuff's painted on, because it's almost like a straw-like consistency, so it's like it's drawing little tiny hairs when you use it. Like, I'll kind of show you. So I'll kind of do that, and it looks like little tiny hairs. So I think this is like the perfect brush for this. They should have marketed it as an eyebrow brush, but when I first got it and I realized that it was too that it was too rough for eyeliner. I started using it with my e.l.f. eyebrow kit, and I've just been loving it. So if you have this and you put it away because you couldn't use it because it was too rough for eyeliner, try it for this and see if you like it. So that it doesn't look painted on, I'm now going to go back in with my Sony Cash Exfoli and kind of just work it. And I have an eyebrow done. So I'm going to do the other eyebrow and I will be right back. Okay, eyebrows all done. So now I'm going to go in with some face product to kind of even this out because I look like a blank face within like dark eye area. Okay, so I'm going to actually go back and do more of the no foundation on my cheeks. I don't know if it's set this way or if maybe my moisturizer underneath is making it separate, but it's actually already starting to look kind of patchy in certain areas. So I'm actually just going to apply a little bit more, see if that helps, and then maybe apply some powder and things like that, and then go in with my bronzer, because I was getting ready to go in and do bronzer and I looked up close and it was looking a little bit patchy, which I'm sure that I would be able to remedy that with just powder products alone, but I don't know, I just kind of felt like I needed to go in. And since it has oxidized a little bit more, you can kind of see, and this may not oxidize on everyone, but I have kind of a weird pH. I guess I have a high, I think it's the pH. I have a high acidity level in my skin, and it causes things to go a little funky sometimes. So like many of you know, or whatever, I might have mentioned before that I am, you know, a flute player in the Army band. So I play at a professional level and we buy really expensive instruments, but my instrument actually has to be solid silver or gold, or gold plated at least, because if anything has any sort of nickel in it, I turn it black. So it can't, and even flutes before that have said solid silver, I've turned black because apparently in the past couple years, instrument companies, and I don't know if it's just instrument companies or even jewelers, they are allowed to put solid silver on something even if it's got 5% nickel, like up to 5% nickel. And from my experience, if it's got any nickel in it, I turn it colors, and my skin actually can eat through, if I play on it long enough, because obviously I'm sitting there playing, I can actually eat through the finish of those instruments. So I don't know if the high acidity level in my skin is what causes things to oxidize a lot more on me than on others, but I've noticed, especially in the wintertime when my skin is light anyway, I just have to usually go ahead and buy the lightest or the second to lightest shade, just because I know it's probably going to oxidize on me. And so I don't actually buy something that matches me perfectly out of the container, because it's probably not going to be a perfect match when it's time to use it, if that makes sense, like once it's on the skin. So that's a fun autumn fact. So we're just going to rub this all in down here. So yeah, now I feel like my face is quite a bit darker than the rest of my body, and before, when I first applied it, it looked about the same. So okay, hopefully this stuff is at least good for my skin, if it's not like giving me the evenness that I want, but it could totally be the fault of my moisturizer that I put on first. So now I'm just going to go ahead and jump in with this Milani bronzer, and this is in the shade 08 Sunset. This was one of their limited edition for summer ones, and I still haven't really got into using these very much. So I found that clearance bronzer and I haven't gone back. So I'll kind of put this on. Alright, so I'm going to go through and poke some concealer in a few other places since I had to reapply the foundation. I'm going to go ahead and move it actually under the eyes now. And I'm going to use this Real Techniques, what is this, Deluxe Crease Brush to kind of just stipple in some of these areas instead of patting in with my fingers to see if that makes a difference. So I don't really have any new blushes, I think. Yeah, I don't think I do. I haven't bought blush in a while to kind of do a first impressions with. But I bought this a while back, and this is the Clinique blush in Aglow. And I've tried using it a couple of times, and it's just not doing it for me. But I saw Natalie from Flower Bomb 31 talk about how gorgeous this blush is. So I don't know if it's just the difference in her skin tones or what, but I'm going to try to make it work because this was like in her top blushes. So I'm just going to kind of get this large brush that I've used for everything else, kind of just dust a little bit on the cheeks. So now I'm going to take the sample that I got in my Sephora thing, and this is the Makeup Forever. This is the HD High Definition Powder. I'm going to take this, and I am going to set my under eyes with it and see what it looks like. I haven't used this at all. I'm going to take the little thing off the top. I can't get the sticker off. I'm going to tear up my nails trying to get the sticker off. And now I'm just going to put a little bit of it on this setting brush by Real Techniques and put it on the under eyes and see how that works out. Well, good morning.
Where Daddy go?
He went to work.
Aww.
Yeah. I'm going to also use this to set the concealer that I put around my nose area. So hopefully nobody takes a picture of me today and I don't look like I've been doing coke. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and just try to make the rest of my face just look better by using my Hourglass Diffused Light. What is this? Ambient Lighting Powder in Diffused Light. As you can see, I love this stuff. I use it on the daily. And I'll just kind of set the rest of my face, and hopefully this kind of blends the blush and the bronzer a little bit better. Alright, so I'm kind of ashamed of myself, and I have a ton of opened mascara. I even have more unopened ones, but there were ones that I was wanting to try out and things like that. So today I'm going to use this one because it would be more of a first impression, well, than a lot of these. Some of these I haven't used that often either. I think I tried this once and I didn't like it. I tried it as soon as I got it for my birthday gift from Sephora, and I didn't like it. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I like it more now, because sometimes over time, once you open them, you won't like it then, but then you'll wait a while and it dries a little bit, and then you do like it. And this mascara actually says it's good for 12 months after opening, which most of them 3 months, but that's good because I opened this in April. So I'm going to go ahead and go in and see. So I'm just going in and I'm applying it a little bit and not full on so that I can build it and kind of make things the way I want it. Sometimes you have to be more careful when you're working with certain mascaras, because if you go in and just apply it like you would your everyday favorite mascara, it becomes a mess. So I'm just going to kind of be careful about it. I actually like it now, and I didn't like it before, so that's kind of funny. So maybe it just sitting in the container for a while has made it better for me, at least. Which mascara is one of those personal things, and everybody's different. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I completely forgot to put on a highlighter today. So I'm going to use this, and this is the Bobbi Brown Nude Glow. So I bought this actually in spring, but it was too dark for my skin at the time as a highlighter, and it did give like a nice glow, but I bought this because I saw on Vanessa the Bombshell Suite, and she looked awesome with it. So again, just using that same large brush, I'm going to kind of apply it. Okay, yeah, I like the effect that it has now. So I think this is just one of those that I'm going to have tanned skin to use it. I'll just move it up here a little bit. Okay, so good. I haven't really used this at all this summer. I've like used it 1 or 2 times, but it's kind of crazy. Summer's almost over. Right now I have all that on. I'm going to mist my face just using this Evian stuff. I feel like I used quite a few powders on my face today, so I'm just going to kind of take that down. Alright, now it's time to do lips, and I'm going to use this product I actually just repurchased. This is the old one though, but this is all I have left of this lip liner, and I haven't had it that long, so I absolutely love it. Use it almost every day. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just apply this lip liner. By the way, the lip liner is the Too Faced Perfect Nude Lip Liner. And then I'm going to go in. I just recently purchased this at, I think, Rite Aid. And this is the L'Oreal Glossy Balm, and this is in the shade Lovely Mocha. So here it is. I had to go get a tissue to blot. I know this is called Glossy Balm, and this is kind of crazy of me, but for the most part, I don't like things that feel glossy on my lips. So that is all done. Okay, so I'm going to go over everything that's on my face. I put this on my face a little while ago. My camera battery died, so I've just been kind of hanging around, watching TV and stuff, waiting for my battery to recharge. So anyway, I am just going to go ahead and go over each item a little bit, kind of first impressions. Again, if you want a full-on review of a certain product, let me know, and I will dedicate time to using it different ways and with different things so that I can make sure that I'm giving an actual helpful review. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump in. The first thing that I have on is the Perricone, it's down in here. It's the Perricone MD No Foundation Foundation Serum. Now, when I first put this on, I noticed that it didn't really have any coverage. It's a little dark for my skin. I would probably be the lighter shade, although I think it looks okay now. It did seem to oxidize a little bit on me, but at the same time, everything oxidizes on me. Very rarely do I actually ever find a foundation that does not oxidize. So, and that's just going to depend on each person's, you know, different pH, the acidity in their skin and all that stuff. But for me, I think this is okay on a clear skin day. If I'm really wanting to cover acne, anything like that, I probably wouldn't use this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try it probably in the next week or so daily, maybe without the rest of my skincare routine. Since this is supposed to be serum, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of research, see what's supposed to be in it, what it's supposed to do. And I don't know, I'm just going to kind of play around with it and see what I come up with. Today for my moisturizer, I use this Clinique Zero Gravity Repair Wear Lift, not foundation, but moisturizer. And look how thick this is. So I obviously need to use something that's not very thick. Maybe when I use this, use no oils, just maybe wash my face and use a toner, and then use this to kind of see if that makes a difference. And I'll also try it with maybe some, what are they, primers. I'll try it with some primers to see how it works with primers. Since it is a serum, which is supposed to kind of sink into the skin, maybe putting a primer down wouldn't work so well with this. Just kind of thinking it through, just because I think something that's supposed to sink down into the skin possibly I don't know, it's not going to work if the primer's sitting on top of the skin, if that makes sense. I don't know this because I haven't tried it that way, but that's just what I'm thinking right now. So then the next thing I used was the Amazing Cosmetics Amazing Concealer. This is just a little packet, and I actually quite like this. I found, though, like it works really well on the under eyes, and it works well on blemishes as well, but you have to set it. It doesn't really last a whole lot of time if you don't set it. And then also the very first ingredient in here is mineral oil. So, and then petrolatum is like the next one, which is pretty much like Vaseline, I think. So I don't know. I'm not quite sure how this is going to work on my skin as far as breaking it out. I hope that it doesn't. But I think for the under eyes, especially since it's an oil and the petrolatum, which is like Vaseline, and then it's got lanolin oil. So if you are allergic to lanolin, don't use this, obviously. it's got those things in it. I think that this would probably work best for under eyes, and I find that that's what I liked it most for, just because I didn't find it drying, it didn't cake, it was actually pretty good on the under eye. So I think that that's something that I am possibly going to buy. What I also found with the application for it was I really liked using this Sonia Kashuk liner brush to kind of put it where I needed it in the areas on my face. Since it is kind of a thicker consistency, very pigmented concealer, I don't want to use too much, so that really helped out a lot. Okay, so let's talk about eyeshadow. So I was trying out some of these Milani eyeshadows today, and I have the shades Charcoal, Bella Sand, and Bella Cafe. Bella Sand and Charcoal are both shimmers, and Bella Cafe is a satin matte. And I really like this. It's a really pretty transition shade. I actually like all of these. I do find, though, that since I used this right here, this Lorac Behind the Scenes Primer, this is a sticky primer. So when I first put the shadows on, I don't want to say they were patchy, but they were really sticking to certain areas. And I find that I had to try to blend a lot harder. So I'm going to try it with, again, try the shadows with different primers or without primer and just kind of see what I'm left with. On my eyebrows today, I used the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. I actually like this. I think they turned out really well. They go well with my hair color it goes well with my hair color right now, just because in the summer my hair lightens and it kind of looks warmer. In the winter, I might want to go ahead and go with the medium brown instead of the soft brown, but overall I actually really like this. I use the, and which I showed you, I think, I used the Sonia Kashuk liner brush that came in a kit a long time ago, and it just really gets in there and fills in any gaps, but still allows it to look natural without it looking like a painted on eyebrow. My lips, I use my Too Faced Perfect Lips Perfect Nude. I love this lip liner. I wear it with everything. I wear it with reds, pinks, nudes, everything. It just kind of gives me like that perfect lip, I guess, and then I can put anything I want over it or mix with it. And then I tried this L'Oreal Glossy Balm over top, and I did blot it, and that's kind of what I got today from it. I actually really like this color, by the way. So here it is, and again, this is in the shade Lovely Mocha. Somebody suggested this to me, so if you're watching and you're the person who suggested it, thank you. Also used this Milani bronzer today, and this is in the shade Sunset. This was limited edition. It might be on the Milani website, so you'll have to check and see. I bought this at Walgreens a while back, but then I got that Clarins bronzer that I'm obsessed with. So I haven't really been giving these love. I have this one, and I also have one in the shade Sienna. Sienna's a little bit more warmy, orangey tone, and this is kind of like the cooler, more subtle brown shade. But I think that for a bronzer, it did a really good job. So I'm actually quite liking this. This blush right here is the Clinique blush in Aglow, and I didn't really use this a whole lot. I find it to be very similar to NARS Luster, and I don't really use that one a whole lot either. I think I'm going to kind of compare them and maybe only keep one so I don't have, you know, a ton of the same sort of color. I do see slight differences in this one, but it's just like an apricot sort of glow blush. And here it looks, if it were full on like this color and then sheared out to be that color, I think I would like it a lot more. But when it shears out, you can kind of see it's more like apricot golden, and that kind of light pink goes away out of it. But I think that it still is a really pretty blush. Also for my highlighter today, I used the Bobbi Brown. This is the Nude Glow Shimmer Brick Compact. Again, this was a limited edition at the beginning of the summer as well. I saw Vanessa from the Bombshell Suite put this on Instagram that they tried it on her in the store and it looked gorgeous. I got it, and for a highlighter, it didn't really look good on me because it was a little dark for a highlighter, so I didn't know quite what to do with it. But since the foundation was darker today, and I do look a little bit more tanned and darker today, I think that it looks good. Kind of the same thing with this Clinique blush right here. I think it looks better on tan skin, not pale skin. So that's also something to maybe take into consideration. To set the concealer today, I used this little sample. This is the Makeup Forever HD High Definition Powder. And I actually really liked this. Obviously, you've seen like the pictures of celebrities who use this around their nose, and then there's flash photography, and it looks like they have like Coke around their neck, or not their neck, but their nose or whatever. So that's probably not the best idea, but since I don't have paparazzi constantly following me and I don't walk the red carpet, I think it is really nice. In person, it just looks like skin. It's just a really nice thin layer, and it sets things. So I actually really like this. I didn't think I would like it, but I really do. And then this is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder. I wasn't just trying this out. This is like one of the only things that I wasn't like trying out. But what I really like about this is because the blush that I was using and the bronzer and all that stuff, especially on top of the foundation, I needed something to help blend things together and kind of calm things down on my skin, and this just kind of airbrushes everything together and blends everything beautifully. You can see that I've hit pan on this, and I very rarely hit pan on anything. And I have only had this, well, I had it like when it first came out, so it's been almost a year now. Not quite a year, but almost a year, but this is like daily use of almost a year, so I will, you know, definitely purchase another one when I'm done, just because I like it so much. And then the last item, oh, I also used, I don't know what I did with it, the Makeup Forever, here it is. I used the Makeup Forever little eyeliner that I got in my Sephora birthday gift, and I think it did a good job of just kind of doing the lash line, and it didn't actually come down onto the bottom like they do sometimes. So I'm not sure if that was because I was super careful with it just to get it in the lashes and not on the actual like area there, like the waterline, because I find that sometimes I'll do that and then it transfers to the bottom and it's really annoying. But today I didn't do it, so I'm really liking this. And then this is the birthday gift that you get with Ulta, and this is the Calvin Klein CK1 Mascara. My birthday was towards the middle to end of April, and I got this and I did not like it. So I let it sit in my drawer, and it says it's good for 12 months. So I knew I was just going to have to throw it out next April. But it dried a little bit, and I have built it up today to like what I want. And I used the fat side of the brush instead of the long, because it goes long or short. I used it, you know, shorter and fatter. And I kind of started out carefully working it in, and then I just kind of kept building it up. So this is probably about 3 to 4 layers on my eyes, and it does look a little bit clumpy if you can see, but it's not bad. So I actually really like this mascara now. So those are like the things I was wanting to try out on my face today, and I like the look that came out of this. So hopefully this lasts on my face, and I can wear this evening when I have to go to Ansley's thing. I wasn't planning on it. I was planning on just washing this off, but I think I may leave it now. Also, I forget if I mentioned this or not. This I had to kind of, you saw where I had to apply it like a second time because it was kind of getting patchy here and stuff. And again, I'm not sure if it was this. So I think I might have mentioned that. I don't know. But anyway, that's everything that is on my face. I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to see a review on anything, just let me know, and I will try to prioritize according to what you guys want to see. And I will talk to y'all soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.